What's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started with today's video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and join the gang. Let's get into the video. So today I'm going to be showing you guys some items that I received from Coastal Scents. A huge thank you to them for sending me these products. I'm going to begin by using the Step 1 Eye Primer. I actually really do love this primer. You guys know I'm a huge paint pot fan. And I did test this out on the eyes and in my smile lines the same way that I use my paint pot, and this makeup held up really well, so very happy about that. They also sent this brush set. It's their Pearl 10-piece brush set, and I love the canister that it comes in. I will be taking this with me. I will be traveling on Monday, and this is getting tossed in my suitcase. Yeah, so I am going to be letting you know how I feel about the brushes as I use them. I will be using this Revealed eyeshadow palette on the eyes, and I am taking one of the fluffy blending brushes from my crease. What I will say about the palette is that it is very cool. As you can see, the color I was using in my crease appeared to be a lot darker in the palette than it actually turned out to be. So to deepen up my crease and add a little bit of warmth, I will be going into this 6 blush palette. And I'm using that very first color, the deepest berry color there, just to add a bit of dimension and warmth to the eye. The eye brushes are great. I wish they had a more dome-shaped fluffy brush that would have really took this set to another level, because those are the type of brushes that I like to use to blow out my crease colors. But other than that, I was able to make it work. The brushes are very durable. They are very sturdy. Like I said, the only thing I wish is that they had a more fluffier blending brush, and I wish that the flat top brush was a little bit more dense. That would have been extra perfect for foundation. You guys will see that a little bit later on. But I am doing a very soft neutral eye. I'm just using the black shade in the palette and deepening my outer V area. And I'm using a more slender shaped eyeshadow brush to really get that color really tight and defined. And they also sent me this single eyeshadow brush that I will be using to apply my lid color. And I saw this nice pretty bronze color in the palette, so I decided to go with that. And I am just packing this on my lid. And of course, you guys know that when using shimmers, if you spray your brush with a little bit of a setting or finishing spray or even a little bit of water, it will allow the pigment to appear more metallic. I didn't want that because I was going to church, y'all. I wasn't trying to look, like too much. I just wanted to look nice. So I did not wet my brush. And as you can see, there was no fallout with the eyeshadow, which I really appreciate. You guys know that black eyeshadows normally give a ton of fallout. I did not do any cleaning up or anything with these shadows, so I did not experience any fallout, which is a huge plus. And did I mention that Coastal Scents is very affordable? Yes, they are extremely affordable. So I will leave the link to the products that I've used down in the description box so you guys can check them out. So as always, I'm going to continue now by filling in my brows and then cleaning them up a little bit with some NC45 Pro Longwear concealer. I tend to do my brows after eyeshadow. I usually do them after foundation, but I'm trying to switch it up a bit. And I'm using these lashes that I received at a airbrushing class a couple of weeks ago, along with the lash glue from the Great Lash Box. And I'm just going to be coating my lashes with a little bit of a Wet n Wild mascara, and then going into my waterline with some black eyeliner from Thrive Cosmetics. The pencil that I used on my brow is also from Thrive, and that is almost empty, y'all. I need to get another one. And then to apply my lashes, I'll be using this lash applicator from the Great Lash Box as well. And you guys know I like to apply from the center and then adjust from the outer and the inner corners. I did allow this lash glue to get tacky for about maybe 20 to 30 seconds before applying them. That's why you always see I'll show you the lashes and then I'll do a bunch of stuff and then come back. so that way the lash glue will be nice and ready. And this lash glue does dry down completely clear once it is 110% ready. But probably should have edited that out, too late now. So I'm going to use that same NC45 concealer from Longwear underneath my eyes. I say this in every video. I do love to underpaint. It just is a lot less work for me, so I'm going to apply this with my fingers because I couldn't really find a brush that I like for my concealer in this brush set, which is fine. So this is the flat top brush that I was telling you all about earlier. It is an excellent brush. It did blend out my concealer and my foundation nicely. I just prefer a more denser brush when using liquids and creams. However, I do think this brush would be a lot better to use for powder. If you are using like a powder foundation, I think this brush would be perfect. Now, as you guys can see, this brush is blending out the product seamlessly. It is just personal preference to like a more denser brush. As always, I'm using my Kiss Pro Touch Drop Foundation. This is in the color Chestnut. I love this foundation. I literally haven't found another foundation that I like better than this. For those of you who don't know, in my kit, I use all high-end products, but on myself, I only wear drugstore foundation. So I've been loving this foundation for $8.99. As you can see, the brush is really blending it out nicely. I guess it's just the feel of it. I just like to have a more denser brush, but this has definitely gotten the job done. So kudos, thumbs up. And this foundation is very, very lightweight. It spreads nicely. As you can see, I don't use a ton of it. I don't use a lot at all. I've had this foundation now for about maybe, I think I bought this when I went to California back in August. So we are now in November. So I've had this foundation now for about, no, we are in December. Oh, wow. So I've had this foundation now for 4 months and it's still going very strong. So to set my under eye area, I am using one of the other brushes. This is a more angled brush from the set, and I'm using this to set my under eye with the Fenty Pro Filter Powder in the shade Honey. And then they also sent me this bronzer. I will leave the name of it down in the description box below. I think it's just called bronzer if I'm looking correctly here. Yeah, it is a beautiful, rich, like hot chocolate type of color, and I love the way it looks, y'all. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm using that on the same brush that I used to set my under eye. If you guys don't know, I don't tend to use a ton of brushes when doing my makeup. I like to use brushes that are very multi-purpose, very multifunctional. So yeah, I am now taking a bit of the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Dark. I was struggling trying to cover that mirror, y'all. So I'm going to be using this powder to set the remainder portion of my face, and I also go over my under eye area. And I'm going into this second blush palette that they sent me. I like that nice berry color, and I didn't know it was going to be so pigmented. So I did go over that with the powder to tone it down a bit. And I'm going into this Makeup Revolution HD highlighter palette along with another fluffy brush here that was thin enough for me to get my highlight on, and that applied my highlight beautifully, whatever. I actually got this palette from TJ Maxx for about maybe $5 or $6. It's an excellent palette. So always check your TJ Maxx, Burlington, Marshalls. They always have great stuff in those makeup piles. Yeah, I kind of OD'd with the highlighter today. So to finish up the eyes, I'm going in with that same brush that I used for my lid, and I am going into the black and smudging that on my waterline. And then I'm using this pencil brush from the brush set and using a little bit to highlight my inner corner. For lips, I'm keeping it simple with my Shinkah Beauty Cafe lip gloss. And yeah, I think that was basically it, guys. I'm gonna take off this little bonnet I got going on here. If you would like to see a full tutorial for this hairstyle, I will leave a link to it in the description box down below. And I will see if I can get the cards worked out where I can leave it above. I'm still, listen, you think as long as I've been on YouTube, I know how to do this stuff by now, but I don't. Judge your mama. So yes, if you want to see a tutorial, I'll leave it down below. As always, I hope you guys were able to learn something from this. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Have an awesome day, guys. Bye.